New York Times, 23 May 2023, Australian efforts to reduce reliance on Chinese lithium mining. Tons of a lithium ore slurry is moving through the pipes of Pilbara Minerals' massive processing plant, which towers over the red dirt in a remote area of Western Australia. The facility transforms the local quarries ore into spodumene, a greenish crystalline powder that contains around 6% lithium and sells for about $5,700 per ton. The spodumene is then transported to China, where it undergoes additional refinement before being utilized in the batteries that drive products like electric vehicles and telephones. About 53% of the lithium mined worldwide comes from Australia, almost all are shipped to China. The Australian government, however, is now seeking to remove the global reliance on China to process the minerals that fuel the green revolution. The largest independent lithium miner in the nation, Pilbara Minerals, is one of the businesses looking at a novel method of making battery chemistry that would be done nearby, where the lithium is mined and sold to allies like the US and South Korea. Image as an excavator extracts ore from a quarry, trucks pass through the area at the Pilgang Ore project in Western Australia within the quarry. Pilbara Minerals, the largest independent lithium miner in Australia, manage it. Yellow-shirted mine workers gather around a table for a meeting, managers in a morning meeting at the mine. The obstacles to launching such an enterprise are formidable. China has a significant advantage with years of knowledge, hundreds of lithium refineries, and a gradually tightening hold on the world's battery manufacturing facilities. Despite those in Australia arguing that they will lead to a more reliable, premium product, analysts warn that Australia's stricter employment rules would make it more challenging to compete with China on price. According to Marina Zhang, a researcher at the Australia-China Relations Institute at the University of Technology Sydney, consumers will make decisions based on price. Consumers will vote with their feet and buy electric vehicles, or even solar panels at home, based on the costs. To prepare the substance used in batteries, Pilbara Minerals is collaborating with the Australian tech firm Calyx on a project to refine spodumene to a lithium phosphate salt. By the end of the year, the businesses should decide whether to commit up to $47 million, or 70 million Australian dollars, to construct a demonstration facility. Dale Henderson, the chief executive of Pilbara Minerals, and other supporters have argued that refining lithium domestically would secure supply chains for battery chemicals amid rising geopolitical tensions, create jobs, and reduce the impact of shipping. 94% of shipped spodumene is thrown out as waste. The Pilbara Minerals mine's open pit lithium refinement would also enable Australia to benefit from the Inflation Reduction Act, a Biden administration policy implemented last year. The bill seeks to challenge China's hegemony in the green energy sector by providing loans or subsidies to businesses in nations with free trade agreements with the United States, like Australia. President Biden and Prime Minister Anthony Albanese of Australia announced joint initiatives at the Group of Seven summits last weekend to boost the supply chain for critical minerals in clean energy. The Australian government has invested hundreds of millions of dollars to help the lithium refining sector, hoping consumers will prefer to purchase lithium from a more environmentally friendly nation that upholds a strict law. According to Alison Britt, a director at Geoscience Australia, a government organisation, consumers can have more confidence in their products if they have more of the supply chain in a country with robust governance and a very safe and trustworthy business environment. Dust is produced as an excavator loads lithium ore into a truck. According to a government report, Australia might account for 20% of the world's lithium refining by 2027, up from less than 1%. A miner works in a pit, sporting a bright green jacket and a hard cap. To facilitate the extraction of lithium ore, a worker prepares explosives at the bottom of a hole. According to a government report from the previous year, Australia might account for 20% of the world's lithium refining by 2027, up from less than 1%. Top officials have occasionally set even higher standards. The Prime Minister, Mr. Albanese, stated in a speech, "I want to ensure that we utilize the lithium, nickel, and other goods that we have to build batteries here. That's part of the plan to safeguard our national economy." But significant improvements would be required for Australia to catch up to China in refining. Only 2 battery-grade lithium hydroxide production facilities required to generate cathodes are now operational in Australia, and a third is being built. They have had significant cost overruns and development delays because of workforce scarcity. A worker wearing a hard hat examines the crushed ore in a hopper. He is surrounded by colossal machinery. He was checking the Pilgang ore project's processing. The facility converts lithium ore into spodumene, a crystalline powder with a greenish tint that sells for roughly $5,700 per ton. Crushed ore is in hand. Ore that has been destroyed before being made into spodumene. Albemarle, an American chemical manufacturer, and Mineral Resources, an Australian miner, jointly own the largest facility, which is now being expanded to become one of the world's largest lithium production facilities, according to a statement from Albemarle. It took more than a year to develop the first lithium hydroxide suitable for batteries last year. Cost is one of Australia's biggest problems. According to John Stover, a portfolio manager at Tribeca Investment Partners, who cited data from the bank UBS, the investment required to create a lithium hydroxide factory is around 2.5 times higher in Australia than in China. He said that Australia has traditionally sent raw ore to foreign nations for processing. That mental shift will be challenging, in my opinion. According to Chris Ellison, owner of Mineral Resources, the government must provide incentives, such as funding and tax exemptions, to make it simpler for international businesses to invest in Australian lithium refining. In a presentation to investors in February, he stated, they are being offered grants to build in Europe, the US, and places like Vietnam from the American government. We need the Australian government to attend the party. A worker at the lithium factory runs density testing. The Australian government must also consider acute geopolitical concerns. According to Corey Liebell of the Australia-China Relations Institute at the University of Technology Sydney, lithium is crucial to the nation's relationship with China. If we were to cut that supply, I think it would be a huge issue, said Dr. Bell. However, Australia has made it seem like it may feel at ease doing that. Madeleine King, Australia's Minister for Natural Resources, stated in a speech last month that her nation had a crucial role in fighting China's concentration of vital mineral industries, which she claimed resulted in fragility, volatility, and unreliability. Additionally, the administration has hinted that it may restrict foreigners' access to vital mineral resources. A colossal dump truck is parked on a sizable trailer and transported by a semi. They are traversing red dirt scrubland while crossing railroad tracks. Trucking and other equipment transportation in Western Australia. About 53% of the lithium in the world is mined in Australia. At an ore processing mill, stairs lead up to the equipment. The Australian government has already invested hundreds of millions of dollars to promote the lithium refining sector. As a result of Scott Morrison's inquiry into the causes of the coronavirus epidemic, launched by the then Prime Minister, formerly friendly relations between Australia and China took a turn in 2020. Later, China imposed import restrictions on Australian goods, including coal and wine. Victoria's participation in China's Belt and Road Initiative was terminated when Australia took the disagreement to the World Trade Organization. In recent months, there have been indications that the tensions are easing. Following lifting an unofficial embargo on Australian coal, China declared last week that it would resume importing Australian timber. However, the partnership is still tense. Australia needs to have a little bit more of a say over the destiny of its resources, according to Ross Gregory, a partner at New Electric Partners advising firm. Despite the obstacles, Joe Lowry, the founder of the advising business Global Lithium, believes that Australia's control over the raw material allows it to exert influence farther down the supply chain. "The guy with the rock wins," Mr. Lowry declared. "And the stone is in Australia.